All right, I am back indoors. I really like the outdoor thing, but that takes more cameras, a little bit more equipment, and I don't have my assistant Chloe here to help me set that up because I tend to screw it up. So I think the best thing for me to do is just do it inside, get one off to you. It's Good Friday, April 10th, going into a weekend. I want to give some things to think about, more so than what's going on in the market and how the things are reacting. We got a little bit of stabilization, as I was talking about a couple of days ago, where things are looking a bit better. So I'm not as concerned there. There's still a lot of things to talk about, forbearance and all that. We'll get into that more. Actually, next week, I got a great guest to talk about some of that, what's really happening in the depth of things. He's got a lot of knowledge about this stuff. So I'm looking to have that go out this next week, provided things don't go sideways on the intent, but just know that that's coming. Today, let's talk about some of the things that I have seen, because I'm talking to hundreds of people. Hundreds, I'm not kidding. Since this whole COVID thing started, I've had hundreds of people on the phone. I've heard the freakouts, I've heard the fear, I've heard all the conversations. And something that's kind of cool that I've heard right now is some people, well, many say they got extra time in the morning. Some are using it to sleep in. Yeah, I'm not agreeing with that. You already know what times I get up. We've talked about that in previous videos. There's days I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning. This morning is 4:15, 4:14 to be exact. And I was out doing my morning routine, right? So that means I drop to my knees in prayer. Then I go to my chair. I sit down with Darren Hardy's Darren Daily. I watch that, take notes, and then I will start in some scripture, and then I'm reading some books that correspond with what I'm reading. So I'm in the Old Testament right now. I'm deep into that. I'm in Samuel, so that's where I'm focusing a lot of time in the morning, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then I'll take some time to write down. I get some workout in if I can. I've got a really tore up shoulder. Saw a surgeon yesterday. We'll see how this goes. A lot of injuries in my life, and it just hurts to do those things, but I'm doing the best I can with that. Trying to get at least an hour in a day. But right now I'm not doing. I'm trying to rest this up. But outside of that, with those that I talk to that don't have the long commute anymore, right? You don't have to drive an hour and a half to go 10 miles in California. If you don't have a long commute, maybe only 10 minutes, you don't have that half hour, 45 minutes that you're wasting just getting settled in, talking to people in the office, just getting started. So I've heard some folks say that part of their time is getting sucked up having to sit through a daily Zoom call with their boss and all the staff, just to be sure those few people that they know would sleep in and not work if they didn't absolutely have to or weren't being checked on. Some of that's going on, but those that are self-starters, they find that they have that extra time in the morning to do something different. So here's what I propose. You do it that you want, but I have a routine I've been doing for about 3 years. So what I propose is you just go down to the bottom of the video and click on the link, get the 4 books. And when you get them, send me a picture like this so I can post it up on the internet. So the world knows there's people doing this. Not a dime comes to me, folks. Every single cent of royalty is going to charity, not even recovering what I've spent to create the books, and it's extensive. But I've heard many people tell me that they've taken this book, the very first one, Point Your Head and Heart, Your Ass Will Follow. They followed what I've instructed to hear of how I would think it and believe it, write it down to the point that I have that belief, and then I get my ass up and start moving it, and bam, there I end up there. That's what the whole breakdown of the book is. The other that I've heard some pretty good feedback on is the book on gratitude. This is book number 2. This goes a little bit into my routine, how I start in the morning. This will help you with the action piece. Quit jerking off. Get moving in your life. Do something, right? The other, Steel Running. This explains why the hats, why these hats, why I have 5 of these up there. I've got a box of them somewhere else. It focuses my head. When that goes on my head in the morning, it points me where I need to go. I don't misuse the greatest tool I have, which is my mind. Another thing to incorporate into it, click on the link, go to Amazon, put those 4 in your cart, please. You're helping other people, right? I'm helping kids with cerebral palsy, veterans housing, and then there's an organization out there that's taking down human traffickers. We're pouring capital into that as well when these royalties come in. Next book, add to your cart, The Master Key System by Charles F. Hannell. This was given to me by some very good friends. And when they sent that over to me, Flavia and Carolina dropped me these books. It was amazing books that they did give me, but that one stood out and I started following it. Now it's a cool book to read, But it's not just a book. This was a correspondence course created in the early 1900s. You would write in, you'd get a letter with several pages. You'd read those pages and follow the exercise at the end, which has to do with, working your mind and really getting control of that. And follow all, I think it's 24 lessons or 27 lessons. I don't even remember. I just gone through it like 4 times. You can see how flagged up it is, how beat up it is. I got my pens and my marking equipment in there. You can see how I've marked up the pages like crazy. There's amazing data in here. This has changed my life significantly. Seriously, order those, get that in the cart with it, get them coming to your house. It's a small fraction that you have to pay for completely huge returns. Whatever you want in life, you got to write down what you want. You got to decide what you're willing to do to get it. And then you start doing it. This is part of the willing part. This is the step forward. You've got a massive opportunity right now, huge opportunity. I know that this COVID thing sucks, the social distancing sucks, so the risks associated with this suck, potential people losing jobs. Take advantage of the situation. Don't waste this time. Don't. Use it to your benefit. Use that time to kind of look at your situation. A really good friend of mine, Brian, said that he calls it forced retirement exercise. You're learning what it's like to be forced into retirement, right? How did everything work leading up to this? Did you do things right to be ready for this? Was your plan sound? Would you have done anything different? Or are you right now, is your plan going to change when things start to move forward? Or are you changing the plan now? Change it with these. This is the way to change your plan right now, is with this. Start changing it with these first. That's how you change your plan. Me personally, I'm very happy with where my plan has gone. I'm sure there's definitely things I can tweak. I tweak by starting these videos. There's little things I can tweak, but I'm adding to it. I'm not changing the plan. I haven't pitched it. Right now I have the physical necessities. I have the cash reserves in the correct vehicle. I use whole life policies, and they're amazing what they have done for me. I'm so blessed that happened to me in 2016. That opportunity hit me, and I stopped and listened. It changed everything for me. Now I feel much more secure going into this than I ever would have otherwise. Do I have the cash flowing assets? Yes, I have the rentals. We're bringing capital in, right? Have I distanced myself from the volatility of the markets? Years ago, I got out of the markets and started putting my funds elsewhere. And then the last thing is I have control of those assets. I can tap into those assets as I need to and use them. There's a great opportunity here. That's book 5 coming out. It's not going to happen for about 6 months until I get the official website up and launch that. Then the book's going to come out, and you guys will have that explaining how that gets done. I spent 45 years right now alive. Not a long time, but I've got a lot of scars, a lot of beatings. I've taken a lot of beatings. It's my need. I have just an absolute need to be able to get that information out to you. And so I'm putting in book form so you have to use that. Just know that I am pushing hard to give you the best things I can, but right now the best for you is in here, locked up in your brain. Let it loose. Take the time to really experience the blessing that you have right now, the time to be able to change your trajectory and build your future correctly. Don't waste it. Start here. Start with the order. Again, it's not to benefit me. This is 100% for you and somebody else. Whether you guys order or not doesn't change it doesn't change what's going on in my world at all. It's not going to change my monetary position. It's not going to change anything. But I'd love to have those pictures to put out there to the internet. I'd love to have any reviews you've got so we can get more people thinking differently. I'll talk to you again soon.